Welcome to the Prop Market. I'm your host, the Prop King. And today I have my 2024 College Football Week 10 prop picks and best bets. So I have 10 great prop picks for you this week, along with one best bet. I'm dealing with a little allergies, but I'm going to fight through this video because I have some really, really good information for you today. I have some great picks that I'm super excited to get out to you. Um, this is the time of year where we have a lot of data on these players and on these coaches and on playing style and usage rate. So there are no surprises. There's not going to be a lot of variance here, which kind of helps us as bettors. And that's why, like I said, I'm so confident this week. I feel so good about my picks. Unlike some other weeks where maybe I wasn't sure about the game script or how this player was going to be used, I know every player and how they're going to be used, and I know the game script. So I think that now we've kind of zeroed in. November's always been my best month. It's always been my money month, and hopefully we continue that here in the prop market. I'm going to talk real quickly about some of the prop king emojis you see, and that's my confidence level. On the top, if you see three, it's extreme confidence, two, a lot of confidence, one, confident, because I'm not going to put any picks on this show that I didn't bet myself. So I'm confident in all the picks. That's one thing about me. I'm super transparent. And if I'm going to put a pick on this show, I bet it myself. So I put my money where my mouth is. Let's go ahead and get to how we did last week. So last week wasn't our best week, but once again, super transparent, 3 of 6, 33%. We can do a lot better than that this week. 44 of 51, 46%. So we're due, and I think this is the week that we kind of take off. First pick is Taylor Green from Arkansas. Now, super talented guy. Um, 24 points is where we're sitting at for Arkansas. Um, and I believe he's going to be playing from behind. This Ole Miss offense is explosive, as we know. But their defense is giving up 228 passing yards. So that's a good thing for us because I believe that Taylor Green will be able to take care of that. He's shown a lot in the running game, but he has really good receivers. One is Armstrong. He has a good tight end. And like I said, he's going to be behind. So I think his passing attempts is going to be pretty high. He's hit this number 4 out of 5 games. I really like his over 234 passing yards for Taylor Green. Next guy is Malik Murphy from Duke. Now, one prop king emoji, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it's because this guy is up and down. He's never um, standard. He kind of sometimes he's good, sometimes he's not, and that scares me. But what doesn't scare me is that Duke will be also playing behind this great Miami offense. This Miami offense is going to put up a lot of points. And for the first time, I believe Duke is going to be in a shootout. Um, I think they're going to have to just score with this team. Malik Murphy is a pocket passer, which a lot of people don't realize, but I expect his usage rate to be super high. Miami's defense has been known to have busted coverages, and they have been known to have issues in the secondary. Um, they're only allowing 210 passing yards, but once again, if you look at his average passing yards, 225, his projected passing yards is 218. It's still way over what they have him at 205. This is a buy low and win high spot. Next guy is Will Howard from Ohio State. Average passing rush yards is 269. Projected pass rush yards is 254. He had 326 yards versus Oregon, so we know he can light it up. But Penn State is only allowing 202 versus quarterbacks. Penn State is a really good defense. I do see a situation where Howard uses his legs. If you remember him at Kansas State, he was a run first quarterback. He's been trying to throw the ball a little bit more, but I know he still has that ability. He has two really good receivers that are super talented, and both of them can take a 5 yard pass and turn it into 50. So I really like this over 245 pass plus rush yards for Will Howard. Next guy is Trevor Etienne from Georgia. Georgia, I believe, is going back to old school, and they're going to implement this versus Florida this week. Uh, they're supposed to be scoring anywhere between 25 to 30 points, and I think this is going to be Trevor Etienne's true come out game. He's good in the pass in the receiving game. He's good in the rush game, but Florida has a horrible rush defense. They're giving up 182 yards per game versus the run. I believe ETN will get anywhere from 18 to 20 opportunities this week in the run game, also in the reception game, coming out, getting screen passes. I love his over 104.5 rush plus receiving yards. I think they're going to lean on ETN this week. Next guy, Kevin Jennings. He's 2-0 with us here in the prop market. So we picked him twice and he's won both times. Um, I really like this number that they have for him, partially because I think that it's just way too low. If you look at his average passing yards, it's way below that. If you look at his projected passing yards, it's way below that as well. But he was a little banged up in the last game. So it's a concern if he plays at all. But the good thing about Prize Picks is if he doesn't play, you still get that bet back. But we don't want that. We want him to play. We want him to be himself. This number is just too low for an explosive SMU offense. I do believe it's going to be a really close game, as I'll talk about later. He's hit this in 4 straight games, so he's hit this number 4 straight times. I like, except the last game, which he was a little injured. I still like his over 220 passing yards for Kevin Jennings. Next guy is Aiden Childs from Michigan State. He's a true dual threat quarterback. He's very talented. He has tremendous upside. He can use his arm. He can use his legs. He's just one of those quarterbacks that when you look at him, you're like, man, this guy could be a Heisman Trophy type guy one day. And I think the light comes on this week versus Indiana. Although Indiana has played really well this season, like I said, undefeated, they're feeling great. I think Michigan State goes for broke this week. I think they open up the offense. I think they play an aggressive style. I think they let Childs make plays and hopefully they get the upset. 21 points is how many points Michigan State is implied to score. So they are expecting some points out of them. This number is just way too high for somebody who's a talented. And like I said, I believe the game script is going to be let's go make some plays. I like it over 228 pass plus rush yards for Aiden Childs versus a very good Indiana defense and team. Next guy is Kyron Drones. Um, it was probably we didn't know at the beginning of the week if Tootin, his running back, was going to play. It looks like he is now, but he's a little banged up. We know that. And another thing we know is Syracuse is going to score the football. I believe this game will be a shootout between Virginia Tech and Syracuse. A lot of points on the board, which is going to lead Drones to have to make plays through the air. Um, he'll be forced to have a higher usage rate than he's had in a couple games this season. He has really good tight ends and a really good receiving core. So I expect some explosive plays out of those guys. Um, like I said, implied total for him 25 points for Virginia Tech. So they're expecting them to put points on the board. I believe Drones is much as really improved as far as his passing game. I like the way he can, find his open receivers. I think he's looking for his opportunity to kind of showcase what he can do. And Syracuse will definitely force that, as I believe they're going to be running up and down the field as well. So I like the over 194 passing yards. It's really good to keep him under 200. I know it's his average passing yards at 181, but a lot of that's due to game script. I believe this game that the number one thing Syracuse wants to do is stop the run. They're going to leave a lot of single coverage for Drones. Next guy is Avery Johnson. Um, a high total at 30 points for him. He started off, not using his legs as much, but in these last few games, he's really started using his legs. Um, he has a really good group of receivers that can make plays as well after the catch. Houston defense is not going to be able to stop Kansas State. My only concern with this pick is that Giddings, his running back, gets off more than he does. And that will stop this. The Houston Cougars will not be able to defend Avery Johnson and this Kansas State offense. It's just how close can their offense, when I mean there, I mean Houston, how close can they keep this game so that forces Avery Johnson to make more plays? But with that being said, I like his over 254.5 pass plus rush yards. Next guy is Rock Taylor from Memphis, a really, really good receiver going against a really, really bad secondary. UTSA secondary, let's be honest, they've been struggling this season. The over-under set at 60 points for a reason because they're expecting a lot of points. And Memphis offense is explosive, and Rock Taylor might be one of the most explosive guys. Um, He's hit this number 4 out of 5 games. I don't see a way he doesn't get over this number. I believe it's a really good buy low, win high spot for us. I like this pick. UTSA will not be able to stop them on that turf. Over 66.5 receiving yards for Rock Taylor. Now to Lenore Sellers. Sellers is a guy who I expect him to have a high usage rate in this game um, versus Texas A&M, who has a really good defense. But I've seen him play really well versus Alabama. I'm hoping to see a duplicate performance in this game, but he has to use his legs. If he gets anywhere from 16 to 17 carries and he breaks something off, we're going to easily hit this number. His average pass plus rushing yards is at 211, which is way above, or not way above, but a little bit above the number they have set for him. The number they have set for him is just entirely too low. This is a buy low, win high spot. I do understand that he's going against a very good Texas A&M defense, but I think they'll scheme up some things to get him into the open field on the running game and also get him some open receivers. I like his over 193.5 pass plus rush yards. Now to my best bet, Pitt versus SMU. I'm gonna go with Pitt here. They're undefeated. Uh, they're a tough team. The quarterback, starting quarterback, should be there. Holstein, he should be there this week. I don't see a world where SMU beats this team. Also, we don't know if Jennings is gonna play. We're hoping he plays because we have him in our prop picks. But if he doesn't play, this number is gonna be even more. This pick is gonna be even better. Pitt's gonna compete. They're not gonna let SMU beat them by more than a touchdown. I'm not I'm not gonna ever shy away from getting a touchdown from an undefeated team. They're gonna have pride. If SMU wins, it's gonna be by a field goal or maybe a little bit more, but not a touchdown. I like this Pitt plus 7.5. Now for our recap. Green over 234. Murphy over 200. Howard over 245. Etienne over 104. Jennings over 220. Childs over 228 pass plus rush yards. Drones over 194. Johnson over 254. Taylor over 66.5 receiving yards. And last but not least, Sellers over 193.5 pass plus rush yards. Super excited about these picks. Like I said, this is probably the most confident I've been out of all my 9 shows I put up for college football because we have so much data. And I think we have some really good picks this week that have really good game scripts. So, like I always say, keep what you like, leave what you don't, and let's cash.